What's up, guys? BC coming at you, and thought we'd do a little live stream today. Just kind of check out some stuff going on in the Algorand ecosystem. I found this really interesting post from John from Non-Fungible Domains. I thought was really interesting, so I thought we'd take a look at that. And it's nice to see the Algorand price going up too. I'm really excited about that. We're just gonna might just dive into that a little bit and poke around. I don't normally do. I haven't been doing live streams for a while. I thought I'd just try one out and see. Kind of take a little bit of a different approach here, see if anyone actually watches and check it out. So we'll be getting into that non fungible domains thing, but let's look at some prices. I just want to look at this. Look at how far that greed index is up, by the way. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to go get my other computer so I can keep an eye on the chat here. But yeah, greed. It's almost in that far end range. So like these prices are just going crazy. Not so much Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of like stuck in that hasn't doesn't want to hit 52. I mean, it just hasn't gone up much, but Ethereum's shot up a bit, almost at 3,000 now, which I like. And Solana, I'm waiting for a dollar 120 price target to unload a little bit more. XRP, I think I'm still down on XRP. I don't know why I bothered buying it. I don't know. I thought with the way the sentiment was going, people really like XRP. They have a really devoted fan base. So I actually thought it might pop up a little more than it did, but I still have some Cardano somewhere. Yeah, Avalanche. Avalanche kind of interesting because I saw a report. Someone sent me a report over the weekend. So my contention was that I didn't think anybody would pay. I just didn't find it credible that a one project would pay to FUD another project. Like it just didn't seem like a good ROI. Like, cause there's no guarantee that's going to help your coin. There's so many coins that fudding one particular coin just it didn't really make a lot of sense that that would make a big difference. But someone did send me a report from someone who worked at Avalanche or Ava Labs, and apparently they had said that that was a practice. It was only one person, so I'm waiting to see more confirmation. But I kind of filed that away for later, so to speak, because it is interesting. Like I said, I just don't think that's really likely. Yeah, so Matic finally hitting a dollar. So I was underwater on Matic until like probably today. I think my buy-in was like 97 cents. So that was one of my bull market coins that didn't go so well. I have other ones that did, by the way. Yeah, Cosmos almost flirting with $11 there. That's nice. I really like one of the things I really like about Cosmos is you can just stake it and you earn like 13, almost 14% just staking it. You don't have to do a darn thing. You do have to one thing I ran into is you have to make sure you keep like a little bit for gas on the side because it doesn't automatically do that. So I just make sure I keep like $1, and then every time I get more rewards, I just reinvest them, and it's super easy. I like that. I like that way more than governance. You guys know I don't like governance much. Yeah, a lot of people are really excited about Caspa, by the way. I think that's interesting. And don't worry, we're gonna get the Algorand price because Algorand price is looking good. I'm just looking at ones that I care about. And near, I've already taken some profits on. Like my buy-in was like $1.14. Excuse me. So I'm up like almost 3x on that. Kind of waiting for 375, and I might pop a little more off. Now look, H bar had been at over 11 cents. Now it's pretty close to 11 cents. I actually took a little teeny bit of profit, shaved off a little bit of H bar today. My buy-in is like 6 cents, so that's something. That's not a lot. I think it's got more room, but I wouldn't. I don't think we're going to see it much more than $1. But some people disagree. I might be wrong, but that's fine. It's the price of me being wrong is basically non-existent. It's a positive sum. I actually get paid to be wrong. If I'm wrong and H bar goes much much higher, then I make more money. So it's all good. I also tried to figure out how to do this through OBS. I'm still doing it through Restream. OBS, like, man, it's really hard to figure out. Now, mostly because I have an old computer, um, the new version of OBS, which I can't download, has an ability to play audio from a window. It's really hard to explain. There's, like, a bunch of options, but it's, like, the one thing I need it to have audio on, it doesn't, and I it's really confusing. There's, like, a bunch of workarounds you have to do, and I haven't quite figured it out. Now, there's just a bunch of stuff I don't care about. Sui, yeah, Sui is crazy. So I bought Sui at, like, oh gosh, I don't remember. It's like a dollar 20, 20, 30, something like that, and it's already up 170. It's kinda cool. They're doing Sui is doing a bunch of really cool stuff. Like, they have this ZK login where it's like, um, you can log in with your, just with your socials instead of needing to remember a password every time. I think that's super great. I haven't really tried it out though, to be fair. So, I might have to play around with that. Yeah, so Algorand at 51, 20 over 20 cents. And I know we were at 25 cents, so it's like it's exciting to see it going up, but also we remember that we were at 25 cents not that long ago, but 10 almost 11% up on the week and about 3% on the day. So, yeah, we'll take that. It's always good to see it going in the right direction. I like that. Oh, interesting that helium is at number 31 or 53 now. That one moved up a lot. I thought about I don't know if you guys know about helium miners. You can get these miners that you earn helium basically for providing network service. So it's kind of complicated. I thought about it. I looked into it, but then I just was like, nah, I've got other ways to earn yield. So it's interesting though. Mina, I've already made like quite a bit on. I can't even remember what my buy-in was. I could probably look really quick, but in fact, give me a second. I will look. I'm gonna talk chat in a minute here. In fact, maybe I can. Can I see it now? Do I have a chat? I do. What's going on? Let's see. Oh, here's Sawdust. What's going on? Ernesto, Jose Oswaldo Duran Marquez. What do you think about Mina? Actually, just about to talk about Mina. Funny that you say that. Kevin Trong asking, what do you think of Near and Algo? I like Near. Algo is like my main coin that I cover on the channel, and I do also like. Maybe I won't do that. I do like Near a lot. Like I said, I'm up about 3 times, almost 3x on Near. In fact, I'm gonna go get my laptop. So just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Just had to get my laptop so I can pull up the stream. It's a long story. My restream will freeze. I mean, maybe it won't now. I don't know, but once it freezes, it's a real big pain in the butt. So we'll just go here. Make sure the sound's off. Yeah, I actually really like Mina. It's been doing really well for me. Oh, this says I have like 19 watching. That's crazy. Cloudy Vibe says VChain's been doing really great. I didn't look at VChain, but I wish Algo was something like that. Yeah, I do too. Oh, Ernesto, we got to talk about ISO 20022. So we'll save that for a bit. Maybe I'll do it now. So this ISO 20022 thing, like I looked into it. This is the thing everyone's talking about, but everyone that works in the blockchain will tell you there's no such thing as an ISO 20022 compliant coin. That's not how it works. ISO 20022 is a bank messaging standard that replaces the old Swift protocol. It's a syntax for the language. So like there's nothing for a blockchain to be compliant with, if that makes sense. Where that compliance can come in is in the terms of the app. Like the DApp that's maybe doing something banking related could follow that standard, and that would make sense. But there really isn't an ISO 20022 coin, if that makes sense. It's one of the biggest misnomers in crypto. I've started to see it disappear. I haven't seen it as much as I used to. I'm not really sure why. I didn't really see other people talking about it too much. I'm not the only one, but I'm sorry, I'm still a little stuffy. Like I've just had this cold that won't go away, or the symptoms won't go away. I don't think I'm sick anymore, but like my nostrils are still. Anyway, let's go on to some other stuff. Jesse Lindbergh is asking, does TravelX utilize the algo token in any way? Yeah, well, it's basically it's building the. My understanding is that it's minting the NFTs on the blockchain. So I don't think it's actually using the token, as far as I know. Well, I wonder if I could put that somewhere else. I wonder if it gives me that option. I'd rather have it in the. I just want to see if I can actually move it to the upper left corner, so the bottom one. Doesn't look like it. Okay. All right. Well, we'll just keep talking then. Well, let's go down our list. Yeah, as far as I know, it doesn't use the actual token. Oh my gosh. Are you guys quant fans? I heard a lot of good things. I never really looked into it. There's so many projects to look into. It's like I try to like my usual metric is that a project has to entice me to look into it, not vice versa. So like its price going crazy will sometimes do that, but otherwise, sometimes just something be cool being built on it or something unique about it. Otherwise, I mean, you just end up chasing your tail all day. You know what I mean? Yeah, Blur is another one. So Blur, I was underwater on. A lot of people made. I made a video about Blur, and a lot of people made fun of me. And it's fine. It's fine. Um, I thought Blur might be a good project because I thought the Blur NFT platform seemed to be making a strong competition against OpenSea's, the NFT platform, and they basically waived. If my understanding is, there's no fees to use the platform, which meant they have like a ton of views. They were getting like a ton of users, and they're up there. They're on like the top 5 of NFT platforms, from what I understand. So, but yeah, I was underwater for a while on Blur. And finally, like, I think my buy-in is like 63 cents. Tezos. Had Tezos way back in the day. Oh, is this stopped because I hit? It's not. Also, no one wants to talk no more. Yeah, Tezos, like way back in the day, I used to own Tezos because it was on Coinbase and you can earn staking percentages. And then when Algorand came around and Cosmos, I just switched to those, and those seemed to be doing. They were paying just a higher percentage, and then that's kind of my Algorand origin story, because then I learned, because then Coinbase shut off the staking, and then I learned that you could stake through the wallet, which you can't anymore. Now, this WorldCoin came out of nowhere, by the way. It's still alive. You guys seeing me that it shut down? It says I'm live. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I've seen Ernesto said like he's reading a article. There's a ton of articles out there, but you notice nobody in the blockchain is talking about them. You notice they're like this. There's one on Yahoo Finance, but it's just a copy and paste of all the other stuff that's out there. Anyway, yeah, this WorldCoin coin one just seemed to come out of nowhere. 200% up in the 7-day charts. I don't know where that came from. That was not that just popped on in the top 100 in the last day or so. KuCoin, Ronin. Yeah, I just kind of. I think we'll just close out this top 5 here. Osmos, that is built on on the Algorand, or excuse me, on the Cosmos network. So that's a like that's I don't know what they call them. It's an ASA on the Algorand network. I'm not sure what they call them on Cosmos, but that's one of the coins in the Cosmos ecosystem, part of the Osmos DeFi platform. And Gala, I'm surprised I didn't get more Gala. I'm surprised I didn't get more Gala people make here. I did the story. Gala was dead because their game platform is just. I mean, it's just been a nightmare. And the coin, I, I I was getting so of course all the coins went up. The market as a whole went up, and then people were like, "Oh, that aged well, huh?" It's like, yeah, well, when you look at the charts, like Algorand has had pretty bad price action over the past year. It's like one of the worst. I had a hard time finding one that was worse, but you know which one was worse? Gala was worse. Gala is actually worse. Terra Luna Classic still alive. It's crazy. Um, let's see, got 13 people watching. Any more of you guys want to hit the like button? I appreciate that. Yeah, I remember hearing about WorldCoin, but like I was saying, like it didn't really seem to be garnering much attention, and then all of a sudden here it is on the top 100. Miguel Martinez, what's going on? It says Algorand is about to pump. Uh, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what, Miguel, you were always excited about Algorand. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. So I kind of want to talk about this proposal that John from Non-Fungible Domains has put out. Now he put a pretty long post earlier about why governance should be removed. I actually kind of agree with it. I'm just not a fan of governance. I got kicked out of governance again. Again, why? I don't know. But I was kicked out of governance again. It said I used the DeFi one, and it said that my balance had gone below the threshold, which I don't know how that could be because I'm always only adding to it. I did not take anything out, and for some reason I got kicked out of governance again. So I agree with John. I think governance is. I'm looking forward to them moving away from governance rewards and onto node incentivization, and those will have pools that you can probably join. So they'll work like probably a lot of other platforms out there. But he's got a new post about kind of a way to save Algorand, a new Oracle program, and I kind of like this idea. I looked into it. We're gonna kind of explore it together a little bit. So let me find it. Just take me a second here. So Obey de Rebel says, "Have you seen Maple Token on Vestige?" Nope, I haven't looked at that. And I don't know if you guys like. Some of you guys might be newer to my channel, but I'm just not a big fan of ASAs in general. I always urge people to be really careful with them. All right, so this is the post here. It says this proposal presents the establishment of an impact oracle within the Algorand ecosystem to oversee the allocation of funds for public goods. The foundational principle of the impact oracle is to align profit with the creation of impact. So I guess that sounds good, right? Like we want to make sure that the funds we're putting into the ecosystem actually impact the that ecosystem. And we've seen like a lot of like bad investments, a lot of Rand today. We'll actually talk about that a little later, but Rand announced like a couple of programs that they shut down today. NFT Explorer, they shut down Algo Explorer. Then there was another one too. We'll look at that in a minute. But all right, so Fisherman down Algo. That is John from Non-Fungible Domains, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know that. Oh, I hate the way Medium pops that up. It's so annoying. So this is a draft proposal. Share, discuss, and leave comments. Your feedback is invaluable and will be incorporated into the final proposal. I like the little frog that he put up there. Yeah, that's cool. All right, this proposal presents the establishment of an impact oracle within the Algorand ecosystem to oversee the allocation of funds for public goods. The foundational principle of the impact oracle is to align profit with the creation of impact, encapsulating the ethos that impactful contributions should yield financial rewards. Okay, that makes sense. It aims to ensure that only the concrete outcomes benefiting the ecosystem are rewarded, while potential future contributions or the resources spent on a contribution are not considered. So, let's read that again. It aims to ensure that only the concrete outcomes benefiting the ecosystem are rewarded, while potential future contributions or the resources spent on a contribution are not considered. I'm not really sure I understand the second part of that sentence. But I know one thing that was an issue in the Algorand community is the fact that I think it seemed like a lot of these companies uh, either didn't have just plain didn't have a plan, or their plan was to keep getting money from excuse me, they keep getting money from the Algorand Foundation indefinitely. Like they were just going to keep funding their operations with grant money, and that is like a horrible way to run. Either one is a horrible way to run your business. Like it didn't seem like they had a plan for profit, how to actually make a profit on their company so they could pay their employees and such. And oh, okay, we're out. So it's really frustrating. That was really frustrating. So I think that's what he's saying here. But let's move down. Central to this initiative is the concept of retroactive public goods funding (RPGF), which is predicated on the notion that assessing what has happened is more straightforward than predicting what will happen. Okay, yeah, I guess I get that. So it's a retroactive, so you actually get paid retroactively, it looks like. Okay, we outline a mechanism designed to operate efficiently, transparently, and with credible neutrality to assess each nominee's impact. I gotta take a drink of water here. This process involves collecting votes from members to determine the allocation of algo to nominees based on their contributions. To aid in the decision making process, voters will be provided with relevant metrics, which will be refined over time based on feedback, ensuring that the most valuable information is available to inform their choices. We got an ask coming up here. We got an ask coming up, a big ask. ASK, by the way, ASK ask. Furthermore, the proposal emphasizes the importance of governance and the ability to swiftly identify and rectify mistakes, a feature that will be central to the operation of the Impact Oracle. This approach is heavily inspired by the success of Optimism's Retro PGF program, excuse me. So that's interesting. So this approach is out there in some way. We can look at that in a minute. Through this initiative, we aim to establish a system that not only rewards past contributions, but also incentivizes ongoing impact within the Algorand ecosystem. So that kind of makes sense. This actually kind of reminds me. This is gonna sound super nerdy, and I think a lot of you are gonna be like, "What is he talking about?" But what I'm saying, what I'm talking about is there's in municipal finance, there's a thing called tax incentive districts, finance districts, and they're TIF for short. And the idea is like you borrow money from future tax revenue to fund a project. And a lot of times, some municipalities like they don't give you that money until except on the back end. So like you have to fund the project first, and then they will reward you afterwards. And that way they can ensure that you actually built the project and everything went fine. And it's it works a lot better, and I think a lot of people like that better. And this kind of sounds like that. Let's look at the financial overview. Total request. Man, I'm sorry, I'm coughing like crazy here. 600 million algo. That's a lot of algo. Even at 20 cents, that's still what? Still 30 million algo, $30 million. Duration and emission. The mission plan spans 10 years, so that kind of makes sense. Broken down into 3-month epochs with a linear emission strategy of 15 million algo per epoch. We recommend allocating half of all fees collected in the fee sync to the DAO to allow additional epochs to occur after 600 million algo is distributed. A main point of impact a project can make is transaction fees, as that will one day be the source to sustain the network. Yeah, very interesting. So, I don't know if you guys caught my interview with John Woods back in December, but he said that the foundation right now brings in about 2 million in fees per year, which is like nothing. I mean, that is next to nothing. I think that was in algo too. Maybe it was in dollars, but he's not. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that would be really nice if more, and this is spread out over 10 years. That 600 million is spread out over 10 years, so it still probably need what 30x. They'd have to 30x the algo coming in. In fact, more. They'd have to 60x the algo coming in for all those fees to be collected. Oh yeah. Speaking of the earlier comment, someone asked me like if TravelX uses the algo token. Well, they are. Each one of those generates a fee to the network, so that's something. Establishment of the DAO. Community controlled. The community has banded together to create this proposal, as well as the necessary technical implementation details. If this proposal is accepted, work on the DAO contracts and front end will begin immediately by experienced community volunteers. The foundation will not be responsible for the design of the DAO, creation of the DAO, or the selection of the DAO members. So we're trying to cut the foundation out of this stuff. Kind of makes sense. They have a little too much power right now. Funding mechanisms. A DAO controlled by a smart contract can be funded quarterly by the Algorand Foundation Treasury, 15 million algo. Additionally, a certain percentage of the fee sync should be dedicated to ensuring the long-term viability of public goods funding. Changes to the fee sync allocation are not part of this proposal, but we feel it's essential to making the program work long-term, and should be included in the next white paper or roadmap. Governance stake. Control of the DAO will be vested in its members, each awarded a non-transferable voting token with freeze and clawback as their stake in the DAO. With 150 members, each member has 115th voting power to start. As more members are added to the DAO, each member's voting power will effectively go down. So it looks like it starts with 150, but then you'll add more as time goes on. That's interesting. Compositions and dynamics. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Let me shut down. Initial composition. The DAO initially consists of 30 community members, 70 builders and creators, and 50 members from the Algorand Foundation. That's one thing I wonder about. If the builders are voting, are they basically voting on their own project? That's interesting. I've selected the 115 people I believe would make a high quality starting group. Please find the proposed group below. Ooh, interesting. Trying to include everyone, XGov approach isn't as important as ensuring these are highly qualified, engaged members who deeply care for the ecosystem. That is why I suggest handpicking the initial group over a governance vote, as a governance vote is unlikely to elect the best members, but rather the most popular, loudest members. It's got a point. Guessing I won't be on there then. I'm certainly not the best judge and appreciate the community guiding me towards the initial 115 members. Oh, I thought he was going to suggest them. Well, however, leaving this to the Algorand Foundation would lead the community to feel it's not genuinely decentralized. I think that's fair. If a community member picks the group with community feedback, it seems like the worst way to go. See, and he's got membership evolution. So basically, every round, 5 new members will be eligible to join. So there'll be some. If you fail to vote or kicked out, and those spaces will be available to fill. But it looks like they'll be adding five every session. Engagement nomination process. A streamlined on-chain process will enable any individual to express their desire to join the DAO. This will be a very simple contract that allows users to register their interests. At the start of every round, the current DAO members will hold a vote to fill the DAO's vacant and new positions for those who express a desire in being a member. DAO will use ranked choice voting to vote on consensus on new members. And looks like 51% majority vote. You can get kicked out. You get voted off the DAO island. The only programmatic way to be kicked out is completely abstain from voting, not do your job. When an expulsion vote passes or an epoch passes and you haven't voted or abstained, the DAO contract claws back the members' voting token, moving them from the DAO. Members are not allowed to vote for their own project. All right, so that kind of addresses the concern I had before. Members will need to self-attest to the projects they're involved in. If a member is caught voting for their own project, they'll be removed from the DAO through an expulsion vote. I just want to see if this is like the really nerdy stuff. So I don't think I just want to see if he said he had a. We'll just read the conclusion here. The overarching goal of the DAO is to refine the process of funding public goods within the Algorand ecosystem. Impact Oracle aims to iteratively enhance the effectiveness of the process of this process round over round, eventually reaching impact equals profit equilibrium. Public goods funding is one piece within a larger network flywheel, which drives value for users and builders, which drives more demand for Algorand block space, which drives more fee sync revenue, which can then feed into node incentives and funding. You can see a little diagram he's got there. I'm just trying to see if there's anything. But he said he had a. I guess he's not going to tell us. I thought he had like a list of members. Isn't that what he said? Let me scroll back. What do you guys think about this? Let's see. Yeah, Judging Dong says members cannot vote for their own project. Yeah, we just covered that. Hey, Taco Coin's here. What's going on, Taco Coin? Oh, Bobby Jonas is here saying algo is finished. Yeah, where's XTC? How's that going? Anyway, I thought he was going to tell us. He says I have selected the 115 people I believe would make a high quality starting group. He says please find the proposed group below. Did I miss that? Was it in the links? I really want to see who it is. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Let's see who's in the. So here's the Algorand Foundation people. Fred Estante is in there. I know him. I know Adri. She's Ryan Fox is in there. I think I know Minway too. Oh, Jaws. Yeah, that's John Allen Woods. Just puts Jaws on there. Builder. Who's the community members? Well, we'll be systematic here. Kirby from Ikeda, Algo Foundry, Algo Gems, Algo Hands, Algo Hour. Are they builders? He's got IRL on there. I don't. Are they builders? I mean, I love those guys, but I didn't know they're. I didn't know they're considered builders. Algorand Casino, Algo X, Allo, All Right Owls, the awesome dot Algo Kimchi Block. Oh, I like that guy. He's kind of fun. Just kind of looking. Kevin from DFly, Thurslow from Evil Tools, Benedetto from Folks, Dev Frackus from Fractal. Oh, I'm on here too. So I'm a builder too. Apparently, am I really a builder though? I have a YouTube channel. I'm not making anything. I appreciate being on there. Yomo from H&Y Games. So you guys ever play those Bork games? I kind of like them. H&Y Games. Yeah, JT's on there too. Guessing he just put. By the way, I am sponsored by Non-Fungible Domains, so just want to make. I should have made that clear earlier. Sorry. I wondered if I'd be on here, but I don't really. Oh, Taco Coin, you're on here. So is Coop from the Recoup. Taco Coin's in the chat right now. He's on the. You're on the. Did you even know you were on the team? I didn't know I was on the team till I read this. Sweener from Voy. That's interesting because I see people get mad at Voy, the Voy chain, but I don't know. It sounded like John said they're like all good and they don't have a problem with it. And then here's some community folks like yeah, Cody from Voy, Barb.algo, Argonaut 5000. I know some of these people. Elder, Foodie, Leaks, Elise, Ric Flair, MJ. Oh yeah, MJ. We gotta have MJ on there. Michael Jordan is the most positive guy for algo I've seen. Yeah, buddy. Otherwise known as Doofy. Doofy does good stuff. I'm still waiting to get doofed. I want to get doofed. Anyway, that's the plan. I did not know I was on that list, but it sounds like most of the YouTubers on were the Crypto for Change guys on there. I don't think they were on there, but maybe I passed them over. But it looked like everyone else was. I always forget you got to. In OBS, I don't know if it switches automatically, but I have to switch. What do you think? What do you guys think of Little Froggy? Oh, hey, it's Adam Bergman. What's going on, buddy? So this is the list for it's Adam, so I'll definitely answer. So this is the proposal. This is John from Non-Fungible Domains. His proposal for the establishment of an impact Oracle DAO to fund public goods in the Algorand ecosystem. So what that basically means, it's a it's a plan to instead of like giving money to people to build stuff and hope it does good, it's more of like a retroactive rewarding. So you get rewarded if you actually have an impact in the ecosystem. I think it's kind of a good. So the list he was sharing, this would be like a DAO, and those were like the first proposed 150 members, which is interesting. So I'm apparently on the list. Yeah, but good to see you, Adam. Like I saw you took down your channel. Like, hey, if you want to come on, chop it up, I can send you a link. Let me know if you let me know in chat. I'll send you a link. I'm sure I can find that on here. I can't find your Twitter either, man. So let me know. Anyway, let's see. What else should we talk about? I had other bookmarks. I thought this was kind of interesting. Hold on one second here. Yeah, it's like community rewards for Adam. As Adam's asking, I'm gonna share this in a second. It's like basically the community deciding funding rewards for projects, and instead of the foundation deciding them, but they're also retroactive, if that makes sense. And yeah, actually, I'm on the list, which kind of surprised me. I, I I don't know. I thought I guess. I mean, I don't mind. I guess it's like him just kind of thinking about it and spitballing because like I don't know if I have time to do that, but well, let me know, Adam, if you want to come on. Let me know in the chat. I'll and let me know where I can reach you. I'll send you a link. You can come chop it up with me on the live if you want. So I thought this was interesting. This is like a little thing I just found, but it said blockchain. This is from Algorand Technologies. They said blockchain is changing the way we game. Learn more about how the future of gaming is built on the blockchain. And then Cosmic Champs replied, if your home ecosystem actively ignores you, well, you literally keep better social score than everything mentioned combined. As gamers would say, GG. I was a little surprised to see that. So Leaks folk community said, I'm sorry. It says Cosmic Champs is definitely the most advanced and robust project I've ever seen in the ecosystem. Gamers speaking here. How on earth we mentioned Zone, which is a lot of disappointments and full Full of bot with copy pasta flash games and not cosmic. Yeah, I gotta say, like lately, I found Zone to be really. It was promising at first, and then really disappointing. I guess they weren't mentioned on the list. Let me see. Let's. I just want to see where they. I don't care about all this. Blah 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 blah. Oh, they didn't really mention games on here. Here they mentioned Gunny games. So I was in a playtest for Gunny games. Oh yeah, okay, I see what they're saying. I was in a playtest for Gunny games, and it was kind of weird because they. I was in like the very first alpha, and I would leave feedback and just it was just basically ignored. It was weird. And it was almost like they were and then when they did respond, they'd almost like make excuses for it. I'm like, "Well, you asked for my feedback. Like, do you want it or not?" Like, anyway, yeah, Fractal Monsters also a sponsor of the channel to be fair, so they're mentioned here. Yeah, they say it resembles 90s game called Tamagotchi. I've always said it's like a mix of a cross of Pokemon and Tamagotchi. And Zone They mentioned Zone. Well, there's a lot of games they didn't mention on here, though, isn't there? But then a lot of them kind of collapse, like Alchemon. Yeah, Zone. I found Zone. Last time I went on Zone, I thought it was really disappointing, and a couple times ago before that, like a lot of the games just kind of froze up. All right, so I guess that's what they're talking about. Yeah, I can see that. I can see being kind of ticked about that. And so Adam says you're my go-to for Algorand. He's moving on from YouTube. I get it. Kids got older. Understandable. Understandable, man. He says, "Yeah, you're my go-to for Algorand now." I appreciate that, man. I do. I appreciate the support you always gave me, even when I was really small. You're like you were cool to me. Not everyone was. I'll be honest. Not everyone was. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just trying to see. Let's see. Trav.algo says, I think it'd be fair to set up a meeting between Simon and Ryan T to see if you can bring Cosmic Champs under Algorand Ventures' wing. They have gone wildly unnoticed for the almost 2, I assume they said years, yet are a key part of the ecosystem who always put their community first. Keep grinding and building. I like the Cosmic team. Let's admit this is frustrating. Yeah, I think if it's tricky because I think it's like maybe it wouldn't be fair to expect them every time they do a post on something to name every single game, but God, yeah, Cosmic Champs is one of the biggest, the bigger ones. So it is a little bizarre to not include them, I suppose. So I can see that. I can see that. Well, let's see what else we got. I got more. Let's go back to. We can chop it up for a little while yet. I gotta admit, my voice is not going as well as I thought it would. I haven't done a live in a while, so I just thought it'd be fun to do a live. Yeah, so Rand is like these two. We can just talk about these two together because these both came basically today. These are both Rand Labs. So the Algorand community with a heavy heart, we announced the closure of NFT Explorer, Algorand's premier destination for NFT analytics and data aggregation. Will cease all operations, including our API, bots, and website on April 1st, 2024. All services except verification. I guess we can look at the whole thing. All services except verification. Where was that? Will continue to operate as usual until this date. The decision to shut down NFT Explorer is not easy. Unfortunately, the revenue generated isn't sufficient to cover our rising cloud costs, making it financially unsustainable. All payments made to the NFT NFTexplorer.algo in 2024 will be auto-refunded. For any questions or further information, please do not hesitate to reach out. Contact@randgallery.com. And that's not the only one. Because they're also sunsetting the XRLP NFT community. And that is also, RandX is also going down April 1st, 2024. Our journey began with a great enthusiasm, especially with the anticipation of smart contracts and EVM sidechain and AMN. Ripple's win against SEC and $250 million creator fund created further optimism and celebration. Nonetheless, after discussions with the community and in-depth evaluation of the evolving Web3 landscape, we've concluded the potential to achieve the level of success we aspire to within the XRPL NFT ecosystem remains low in the immediate future. That's a word salad, man. And heartfelt thanks, blah, blah, blah. Contact Rand Gallery. Phew. Couldn't grab the money quick enough, huh? Can I have your code? Yeah, so that's a bummer. Seeing more stuff. I thought we were kind of done with that whole thing, but apparently not. Yeah, we kind of talked about the assembly call. Josh says, Josh Ellison says he kind of delved into ASMR briefly. Well, if I can put some people to sleep, then that's great. Let's see. Anything else you guys want me to look into? Yeah, you guys think would be interesting? I mostly wanted to cover that proposal from John from NFT domains, non-fungible domains. But I'm willing to look at other stuff if anyone is interested. Well, that's not what I was looking for. Okay. I look at crypto news while we're sitting here. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, have you noticed this? So a little while ago, I said something about how I was surprised that we weren't seeing more volume in Bitcoin, considering the ETFs had gone live. Apparently, just there was and then people give me a bunch of explanations about dark pools and all this stuff. I think it just took a while because now it's like really, well, we've seen Bitcoin kind of take off recently. So this is interesting. Bitcoin spot ETF inflows increase amid net outflows for gold-backed funds. So if I read that right, that means ETFs are seeing inflows and gold seeing outflows. While I think might have been a better word there. So the quick take is increased inflows into Bitcoin ETFs could, in the long term, pose a threat to gold's position as a primary store of value. According to an analyst, the price of Bitcoin has increased by almost 10% the past week, according to the block's price page. Price page. It's a hard word to say. A lot of PPs going on there. By the way, you guys like my new mic? I got this mic about a week ago. I think it sounds a lot better than my old. I my Blue Yeti served me well, but I think it was time to upgrade. And I had a lot of credit card reward points, so I thought, I'll get a new mic. Yeah, this chart is kind of interesting. But that's how much. That's interesting. That's how much is flowing into Bitcoin because of the ETFs, and that's how much is flowing out of gold. That's wild. Isn't that crazy? Oh yeah, Caitlin says, Caitlin Guzman, welcome. Hey, welcome back to the show. Says Sauce and H bar going crazy. Yeah, H bar. We covered that earlier. It's really going nuts. And looks like Adam Bergman's very excited about that too. I appreciate that. I'm excited about that as well. He asks, "Is it because of the new council member?" I don't know. I just wonder. It seems like this cycle, certain coins are taking off at certain times. Maybe I'm just paying more attention than I did in the past. Yeah, and Adam says ETF is eating almost 10 times daily mined Bitcoin. That's wild. Just look at those flows, man. So you see what I was saying? Because when was it approved? It was around here, right? Can you see my cursor? Oh, yeah, I don't know if you can see my cursor. Um, so I don't know. I just found that kind of surprising that it. I'm trying to watch the other screen. Oh yeah, you can see my cursor. Okay, yeah. So I think it was around here, and then it was kind of sinking, and I was like, "Well, where's all this volume that's supposed to be coming in?" But now it's shooting up, man. That's crazy. That's from Bloomberg, so I think we can trust that as a source, huh? Here's the ETF flows. Uh, oh, these are all the different Bitcoin ETFs. Interesting. I don't entirely know how to read that chart. I don't know what is that just the gold outflows? Very interesting. What's he got, Block? South Korea's ruling party considers allowing spot Bitcoin ETFs in election pledges. Hmm. Vitalik Buterin eyes AI to help tackle Ethereum's biggest technical risk. Yeah, I was just gonna make a joke. I saw AI and I was gonna make a joke. Hey, maybe you can ask AI how to fix Ethereum, but then that seems like he's pretty much what he's doing. Here, I was gonna make a joke about it. And thanks, Josh. Josh Ellison says he can see the cursor, so I appreciate that. I only asked because I want to make sure I could not just on my screen, but I was watching on the my YouTube screen is a little there's a little bit of a delay. Yeah, so this is funny. I want to read this because I was making that joke. Ethereum co-founder said that he's excited about the assistance of artificial intelligence in code verification. Ethereum co-founded. You should ask AI how to fix his gas fees. Maybe can. It'd probably just say be Algorand. I had to throw that out there. Okay, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin said artificial intelligence could help Ethereum developers identify bugs and assist with the verification of code. I will say AI is pretty good at code. Like I used to write. I was like kind of into writing Python code for data visualizations, but it's so much easier just to make Chat GPT do it and then output it on my IDE. But knowing how to code means I can fix any problems that come up, or I know what to ask it to do. So it's not like going from zero knowledge to how would I put it? It's not like it doesn't help to have that knowledge anyway. It just makes it a lot faster. But one application of AI I am excited about is AI assisted formal verification of code and bug finding. Peter wrote on an X post on Monday. Right now, Ethereum's biggest technical risk probably is bugs in code, and anything that could significantly change the game, that would be amazing. Peterson's latest breakdown on AI comes after he wrote a blog post last month and broke down 4 ways that cryptocurrency and AI may overlap. Kind of curious what that is. Should we go see? Let's see what that says. I think there's going to be a bullet point, don't you? Oh, I thought he would lay it out like boom. Here's one. Here's two. Three. Okay, let's see. 4 ways. Okay, Buterin examined the use of AI as an actor, as an interface, as the rules themselves, and an end objective in itself in a blog post published Tuesday. He noted that the use of AI as an actor within a protocol had the highest viability, while the use of AI as an interface to a protocol has high potential but carries some risk. I want to see that. I want to see the post. Let's see this. Let's see what this says. See, Caitlin says sauce is wild with H bar on a run. It makes the TVL and sauce go up. And Josh Ellison says, any idea when a practical Algorand bridge to Cardano will be rolled out? That's a good question. I have not seen anything about that. Excuse me. It's really long. I don't. Well, let's read. Many people over the years have asked me a similar question. What are the intersections between crypto and AI that I consider to be the most fruitful? It's a reasonable question. Crypto and AI are the two main deep software technology trends of the past decade, and it just feels like there must be some kind of connection between the two. It's easy to come up with synergies at a superficial vibe level. Crypto decentralization can balance out AI centralization. AI is opaque and crypto brings transparency. AI needs data, and blockchains are good for storing and tracking data. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, huh? But over the years, when people ask me to dig a level deeper and talk about specific applications, my response has been a disappointing one. Yeah, there's a few things, but not that much. In the past 3 years, with the rise of much more powerful AI in the form of modern LLMs, the rise of much more powerful crypto in the form of not just blockchain scaling solutions, but also ZKPs, zero knowledge proofs, FHE, I don't know what that is, two party and N party, MPC, I'm starting to see this change. We're diving deep on this. There are indeed some promising applications of AI inside of blockchain ecosystems or AI together with cryptography, though it is important to be careful about how the AI is applied. A particular challenge is in cryptography, open source is the only way to make something truly secure, but in AI model or even its training data, being open greatly increases its vulnerability to adversarial machine learning attacks. That's interesting. The post will go through a classification of different ways that crypto plus AI can intersect. Oh, we got a Venn diagram. Well, that's always fun. So the Venn diagram, he says, of data ownership, transparency, monetization, cost cutting, competition, innovation, and inclusive. Yeah, so he says that's a high level summary of crypto plus AI intersections from a UETH blog post. But what does it take to actually realize any of these synergies in a concrete applications? And here he talks more about the four major categories. AI is a broad concept. You can think of AI as being the set of algorithms that you create not by specifying them explicitly, but rather by stirring a big computational soup and putting in some kind of optimization pressure that nudges the soup toward producing algorithms with the properties that you want. The description should definitely not be taken dismissively. It includes the process that created us humans in the first place. Really? I guess so. Let me read that again. AI is a very broad concept. You can think of AI as being the set of algorithms that you create not by specifying them explicitly, but rather by stirring up a big computational soup and putting in some kind of optimization pressure that nudges the soup toward producing algorithms with the properties you want. I guess I see that like kind of like the primordial ooze, and then you get a lightning strike, and it happens to create the conditions for some kind of life to arise. That's kind of interesting. Uh, but it does mean I gotta get that. Yeah, it does mean that AI algorithms have some common properties. Their ability to do things are extremely powerful, together with limits in our ability to know or understand what's going on under the hood. Do you guys think this is interesting? I think this is really interesting. I'm going to keep reading. There are many ways to categorize AI for the purpose of this post, which talks about interaction between AI and blockchains, which have been described as a platform for creating games. Interesting. I will categorize that as follows: AI is a as a player in a game, highest viability. The AI is participating in mechanisms where the ultimate source of the incentives comes from the protocol with human inputs. So this is actually quite a bit different than the post. The post seemed like it didn't really explain that very well. AI is an interface to the game with high potential but with risks. AI is helping users to understand the crypto world around them and to ensure that their behavior, signed messages, and transactions matches their intentions and they do not get tricked or scammed. So that's actually kind of interesting. So this is AI is like helping users. Is this one of the things I talked about? Like crypto is you guys that are in crypto, like I don't think you understand or fully estimate how confusing and just like out of reach a lot of this stuff is to just regular folk. People go crazy, man. I mean, I've tried to like just like trying to explain a wallet creation to someone can be like really frustrating. They just don't it's way more complicated than even they think it is. So the fact having like AI like make this stuff way easier to use would be huge. That's a good one. I'm so far I'm putting my money on that one. Okay, AI as the rules of the game. Tread carefully. Blockchains, DAOs, similar mechanisms directly calling into AIs. Think AI judges. AI as the objective of the game, long term but intriguing. Designing blockchains, DAOs, and similar mechanisms with the goal of constructing and maintaining an AI that could be used for other purposes using crypto bits, either to better incentivize training or to prevent the AI from leaking private data or being misused. What do you guys think about that? My whole my whole chat is about sauce and H bar right now. But I don't know. I find this stuff really interesting. This synergy between. Maybe I should read more of Vitalik's stuff. He's actually making some really intriguing arguments. I'm going to read about the second one. I'm going to skip down. AI is an interface to the game. The one idea that I brought up in my writings is the idea that there's a market opportunity to write user-facing software that would protect users' interests by interpreting and identifying dangers in the online world that the user is navigating. One already existing example of this is MetaMask scam detection feature. I've never popped that up, but I did get some Mina through using MetaMask. I hate MetaMask, but that's a whole other thing. Another example is Rabby Wallet's simulation feature, which shows the user the expected consequences of the transaction they're about to sign. That's probably a good idea. Potentially, these kinds of tools could be supercharged with AI. AI could give a much richer, human friendly explanation of what kind of DApp you're participating in and the consequences of more complicated operations that you are signing, whether or not a particular token is genuine, i.e., Bitcoin is not just a string of characters, it's normally the name of a major cryptocurrency, which is not an ERC20 token, and which has a price way higher than 0.045 cents. And a modern LLM would know that, and so on. And these projects are starting to go all the way out in this direction, like LaneChain Wallet, which uses AI as a primary interface. My own opinion is that pure AI interfaces are probably too risky at the moment, as it increases the risk of all other kinds of errors, but AI complementing a more conventional interface is getting very viable. That's kind of what I like too. There's one particular risk worth mentioning. I will get into this more in the section on AI as rules of the game below, but the general issue is adversarial machine learning. If a user has access to an AI assistant inside an open source wallet, the bad guys will have access to that AI assistant too. So they will have unlimited opportunity to optimize their scams to not trigger the wallet's defenses. That's a good point. All modern AIs have bugs somewhere, but it's not too hard for a training process, even one with limited access to a model, to find them. So summary, we'll just skip to the summary. Yeah, it can help users understand what's going on in plain language, but it can serve as a real-time tutor, can protect users from mistakes, and be warned when trying to use it directly against malicious misinformers and scammers. This is a very interesting post. I get a big kick out of this. So Catlin says the AI stuff is way over my head. I don't like fully like I have no idea if I was gonna start like making one. I have no idea where I'd start with that. But kind of get like it's pretty useful just from plunking around, and I kind of like this idea between merging crypto and AI. It sounds like it has a lot of potential. Let's see. Well, looks like we're over an hour, huh? I was kind of debating how long I'd stay on, but getting a little bit tired, to be honest. So, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate everyone following along and just letting me follow my little rabbit holes that I went down. And if you haven't hit the like button already, go ahead and do that. I'd appreciate that. Helps the channel and everything. And if you want to subscribe too, I'd appreciate that as well. I hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see you in the future, as I like to say.